is going on, Sports Wars? We're here. We're live, and the NBA Finals just got finished. Literally, the seconds just ticked off the clock as we were counting down. Suns versus refs is the first comment. We're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about that for sure. We're going to talk about a lot tonight, but man, I will say one thing as people start to roll in. The NBA Finals, the NBA Finals are better without LeBron James. The NBA Finals are definitively better without LeBron James. We had a lot of great competition. This last game, it's unfortunate that, it's unfortunate that Giannis shot more free throws than the entire Suns team. It's unfortunate that Devin Booker, I don't think, hit a three the entire game. Oh, man, there's a lot to break down. But we do have to give credit to the Milwaukee Bucks for what they were able to do this season. And Giannis had an all-time performance. I don't know how he hit all those free throws, but he did. If Giannis doesn't hit, if Giannis shoots his normal playoff percentage on those free throws, they probably don't win this game. Let's just be real. Some of the fouls a little questionable, but you got to give it to Giannis. He made the free throws when he got to the line. So the Milwaukee Bucks are your 2021 NBA Finals champions. I did not think that that's what I would be saying when we started this season off. But Giannis with a monster game, 50 points. Let's go and let's take a look at this. Let's take a look at the box score, because I do think it's important that we take a look at this. They keep running stuff here. We're going to see if I can pause that just in case we don't want to get hit. I know you're a D-Book fan, but he flopped like a bitch. Oh, he took a big flop tonight. And he flopped literally and figuratively. But here you go. Phoenix Suns, 98, Milwaukee Bucks, 105. A very, very interesting game, just like you can say for most of these finals. You look at this first quarter. Phoenix looked like they couldn't do anything. Chris Paul, I called Chris Paul a pussy in the first quarter today because he was just so hesitant to shoot or force any action. It seemed he was okay to just stand in the corner. He came alive in the second half. He's one of the only guys that was doing anything this second half for the Phoenix Suns. But let's go through it. You see Chris Paul, 26 points. Giannis with a 50 spot. Dude, Giannis with a 50 spot. That is fucking insane. Giannis is the MVP. Oh, Giannis is definitively going to be the MVP. Not a fucking question. Not a fucking question. You take a look at this. Three-pointers. Nobody shot well today from the three-point line, especially not Jay Crowder. Jay Crowder, I think, took 9 or 10 threes, hit maybe 2 of them. Devin Booker took 6 or 7, didn't hit a single one from what I saw. Let's take a look at this overall box score, because I want you guys to see these plus minuses, which are interesting. You see Jay Crowder. He's important to this team for what he can do on the defensive side, and he puts a lot of hustle in, grabbed a lot of rebounds tonight, but 2 for 9 from the three-point line. Had some great looks, but he was the only starter to have a positive plus-minus. So Jay Crowder, unfortunately, missed a lot of buckets. Devin Booker, 0 for 7 from three-point line, 8 for 22 overall. I like Devin Booker. He's going to be feeling it after this. He had some opportunities. And he really missed out. Now, Payne, we got to talk about Cameron Payne, because the fact that this dude only played 10 minutes is bullshit. Cameron Payne for the Phoenix Suns comes in after this first quarter where Phoenix scored 16 points, Milwaukee had 26. Cameron Payne changed the tone of this game completely. He put the Suns on the right track in this second quarter to even this game up. And then mysteriously just didn't get many minutes after that. Bad game management, in my opinion, from Monty Williams. But he'll learn from that. But Giannis is going to be the talk, and for good reason. Giannis had 50 fucking points, 14 rebounds. This is the craziest thing. Giannis, 17 for 19 from the line. Now, some of y'all are saying, Suns versus the refs tonight. They missed open shots. The Suns missed open shots, but this is a lot of free throws. There's a big free throw discrepancy here. A big free throw discrepancy. And that will be talked about. It kind of has to be talked about. Big free throw discrepancy. I'm pretty sure Giannis shot more than than all of the Phoenix Suns combined. Let's look at team stats. Free throws. Phoenix shot 19 free throws. Giannis shot 19 free throws. Woof. Crazy. An interesting series. All these games, for the most part, were very competitive, very close. A lot of back and forth, obviously tied up 2-2. Then that game in Phoenix where everything goes right for the Bucks. Drew Holiday goes off. Chris Middleton goes off. Giannis goes off. They all played really well that game 5, and Phoenix just could not get it done at home. So they go back to Milwaukee and did not play well. They just didn't. There's really no other way to describe it. You look at plus 11 when you look at, way more than that, actually. Total rebounds, plus 16 for the Bucks. Plus 16 for the Bucks. Man. But Giannis will definitively be the MVP. He had, I think, 2 40-point games earlier, a 50-point game to close it out. Huge for him, huge for his legacy. The real question will be what happens going forward with this team, because right now, the East, kind of a mess. What's Brooklyn going to do? Is Brooklyn ever going to get healthy? Philadelphia's blowing it up. They're getting rid of Ben Simmons for good reason. The Hawks, they got Trae Young. They got anybody else? I don't think anybody really thinks so. At least not yet. The Knicks or nothing. So what's going to happen in the East? Because right now, it might be a couple years of Giannis if they can keep everybody together. But people will definitively be talking about the refs. Man, incredible game, really. Incredible game. Giannis is insane. CP3 replaced Ben Simmons at Shanghai. I see a lot. I'm looking at the chat here. Suns in 4. Ain't going to be Suns in 4. Ain't going to be Suns in 4. Nick Nero for $5. Yeah, baby. Greek Freak wins it. I'm Greek, so I'm a fan. No matter what you say about him, bro. I've been pretty critical of Giannis. I don't think he should have shot as many free throws as he did. I'm just going to be honest with you. I'm just going to be honest with you. I think there was a lot of bullshit calls a little bit earlier in that game. At least twice, I saw DeAndre Ayton literally just stand there, do nothing, and gets a foul called on him, and Giannis goes to the line. Giannis going to the line is probably usually a pretty good thing if you're a Phoenix Suns fan. Not this time. Not this time. Usually you would expect Giannis in this playoff run to go, 10 for 19? But instead, he goes 17 for 19, and that's the game. Giannis, this game was won on Giannis's free throws, which I don't think if you watch the rest of the playoffs, anybody would really be expecting that. But that is what happened. They've got the postgame on. Of course, Rachel Nichols not on the court because, ESPN did her pretty dirty. ESPN did her pretty dirty to appease Maria Taylor. But you can't see Milwaukee celebrating. Milwaukee is going crazy, so you got to feel good for them. Fear the Deer. They've got a pretty tight fan base up there. A lot of people out there. I'm sure Fauci wouldn't have been so happy with the amount of social distancing that was going on, which was none, which is good. I love to see that. People getting excited about sports again. NBA Finals ratings, before we even talk about anything else, still very, very down from 2019, but up from when LeBitch James was in the finals because people are sick and tired of LeBron James and his rhetoric. Awesome having a dude like Giannis who comes out and says what he said after Game 5 about basically, really being humble and trying to stay true to that. It's trying to stay, in touch with that humility. That is awesome. That was awesome. That's what you want to hear from the face of the NBA. But again, guys, if you're just rolling in, the Milwaukee Bucks, LeBron slander. It's only slander if it's not true. But Milwaukee Bucks defeat the Phoenix Suns. This was a game that in the first 3 minutes, both teams looked rattled as fuck. They really did. A lot of missed opportunities, a lot of turnovers. One of the craziest first quarters I've seen because Milwaukee turned it over 6 or 7 times in that first quarter and finished. You can see the right there, 29-16, because Phoenix couldn't do anything. And I truly do blame Chris Paul a lot for that. I think you have to put some of the blame for the way this game started out on Chris Paul. He is there for this young team to be the general, even though Chris Paul's never been in this position before. He's there to like be the general, to get everybody in the right spot, get everybody going. Devin Booker always wants to be that guy to take the shot, but sometimes you got to get him in the right position to do that, because he will force the action if nothing's happening. And I thought Chris Paul was I didn't feel like Chris Paul was running the offense in this first quarter. I felt like he had some opportunities where he could have forced a little action if need be. But I think he got a little bit scared after he nearly airballed that 15-foot wide open jumper to begin the game. Clanged right off the front of the rim. Damn near missed everything. But he did pick it up later, so you got to give Chris Paul credit for continuing on and, picking it back up in the second half. Cameron Payne came in, immediately electric. I said it before, the fact that Cameron Payne, a guy who played so well when Chris Paul was injured in the playoffs, man, how do you not play him more? You know what I mean? Like, how do you not play him more? That's crazy to me. Giannis is talking right now. Giannis is going to win MVP. But I do think that although they won this game, although they won this game, I think that the team you saw in Game 5 is the better team. This game, Giannis hit all of his free throws, got to the foul line a lot more than I think he probably should have, and I think you're going to hear a lot about that. But you got to give him credit for knocking down those shots that he hasn't been in this final so far. So I think that this team, what we saw in Game 5, when Holiday scores 25, when Middleton scores 25 to 30, when Giannis is scoring 25 to 30, everybody is engaged and that team is really clicking. I don't think you could really say that for a lot of this game. Giannis fucking dominated, and the Suns could not capitalize on really very many opportunities, which they had. The Suns had open looks. They just didn't knock them down. The Suns forced a lot of turnovers early in this game, and they capitalized on some in the second quarter. But you got to hand it to Milwaukee Bucks, NBA Finals champions. You look at, nobody was hitting threes. Nobody hit threes. 6 for 25 from Phoenix, who's a pretty good shooting team, and 6 for 27 from Milwaukee. Let's go ahead and look at the full box score again, because I want to see. Let's look at Milwaukee, see what we got out of these guys. PJ Tucker didn't score a point, which, that's not really his role, to be fair. But Giannis had 6 turnovers. Middleton had 5 turnovers. You get 12 from Drew Holiday. You get 17 from Middleton. You'd want more from those guys, but Giannis goes for a 50 bomb. And then Bobby Portis as well. I'm a Bulls guy. For those of you that know me, I'm a Chicago sports guy. I am a Bulls guy. I watched Bobby Portis for a long time. He had a good game, made some kind of dumb fouls at times, but he's always going to give you that hustle, always going to have that heart, and he's not going to be afraid to step up if he needs to. And, for him to have 16 points off the bench like he did, came up pretty big defensively. It had a lot of fouls, too, because he does play aggressive. But, shout out to Bobby Portis for really turning that on. Poor CP3. Man. Poor CP3. I guess poor CP3. You look, he was 11 for 19. Like I said, I thought he was very, very passive and very scared to start this game out. So I don't know. I wish he would have taken charge. That's what this team needed in that first quarter. They needed Chris Paul to take charge. Nobody took charge until Payne came in. How did he only play 10 minutes? 10 minutes, 10 points. Right? Really brought the action, brought the aggressiveness, was +9 while he was on the floor. Yet he only gets 10 minutes? I don't know. Did he get hurt or something? I mean, I missed a little bit of the game near halftime, before and after halftime, but oh man. But the Bucks are your NBA champions. You got to give it to the boys. You got to give it to them. I know it may seem like I'm poo-pooing on it a little bit. I guess I kind of am to some extent. I think that you have to acknowledge that free throws were a big factor in this game. Giannis shot as much as the entire Suns lineup. Now, he was aggressive because that's what Giannis's game is. Giannis's game is being aggressive. We all know that. It's getting to the rim. But there it is. Michael Amato for $10. Excuse me. Let's get here. Michael Amato for $10. So great to see a true Warrior player like Giannis have such a truly dominant championship performance in the clincher. Unlike a total pussy like LaFraud who bails on his team in the play-in round. Clown. Yeah, that's true. Giannis certainly didn't give up at any point in time, did he? Giannis also had a horrific-looking injury. You know, that hyperextension that turned out to only keep him out like a week or so, maybe a week and a half. But it looked like his season might be over. The Bucks, for the most part, were a very healthy team. The Suns, for the most part, were a very healthy team. Saric going down. Did Saric go down in the Clippers series or game one of this series? Either way, the fact that he went down, I do think we might look back and say, did that make a difference? When you look at the play, when you look at maybe another big guy who could soak up some fouls, a guy who can stretch the floor a little bit, maybe that did play a role in this. But Milwaukee Bucks come up big. Giannis comes up really, really big. Yeah, game one. That's what I thought. Yeah, game one. Mark Cuban passed on drafting Giannis to save some money for free agents that signed elsewhere. Got to stay away from the Kardashian vampires. Yeah. And I see there's a lot of people in the chat. Listen, this is a sports channel. We report on sports stories. If you can't handle that, you probably shouldn't be watching a channel called Sports Wars. We're going to call shit out when it needs to be called out. We're also going to talk about actual sports stories. So I'm sorry if you've been misled by what Sports Wars means. But when there's an NBA Finals champion, we're going to talk about it. That's the fucking bottom line. When the Milwaukee Bucks do something disgustingly stupid like they did in the fucking bubble, we will call their asses out. We will say it exactly how it is, because you have to call that bullshit out, the Jacob Blake garbage that they did. But at the same time, there's a sports story, and we talk about sports here on this channel. If you can't handle it, open your mouth while I shove my cock down your fucking throat, you pussy-ass bitch. It's just how it is. So had to be said. I see Thomas is here. What's up, Thomas? Bucks. That's right. Giannis is what Ben Simmons wishes he was. Ben Simmons, man. I see people talking about potentially Portland, a trade between Portland and the 76ers. Why would anyone take on the Ben Simmons project at this point in time? You know what I mean? Like, why would anyone take that on? I don't get it. I don't get it. Would the Suns ever win an NBA Finals and take a different team? This team's young, man. DeAndre Ayton and Devin Booker are obviously those core pieces. Chris Paul will be an interesting dilemma because Chris Paul's owed a lot of money. A lot of people think he will opt out, but are you really going to give Chris Paul more money? I don't know. I think that his experience was probably very good for this team at times, but I also think there's times where they looked really good with him not on the floor. So I think Devin Booker is a stud, a little inconsistent at times for sure. He's very young, but I think he has what it takes to win eventually. So a couple offseason moves, and the Suns could be right back. Now, you got a Clippers team that didn't have Kawhi. You had a Lakers team that was very injured. The West is fucking beastly. We all know that. We know that Golden State team that Steph Curry, kind of led this year, limping into the play-in tournament, they probably would have been a 4 seed over in the East. That's the way things are in the NBA right now. That's the way it's been for a little while. Eventually, it'll switch. Whenever people talk about merging Eastern and Western conferences, I'm always so skeptical of that, and I don't think that's a thing that needs to happen. Because you will see over time, just like conferences in football, things change, power dynamics change. Eventually, the Eastern Conference will rise again. But for right now, the West is still so deep. So it's going to be anybody's game out there. But I definitely think the Suns can, with this core, plug in a few more pieces, and definitely something can happen there. Definitely. Mindfulattraction.org for $5. What's up, man? I see you always commenting our stuff. Good to have you here, buddy. Watch ESPN lead the show with LeBron yesterday. Despite the NBA Finals, they led the show with Space Jam. Unbelievable. Did they really? Fuck, man. Dude, that's... ESPN will do anything and everything to promote and protect LeBron, LeBitch, LeChina James. We all know that. And you know what they don't want? Let's listen to Giannis. All right. I don't want to look that up. I want to look up Clay, Travis, Giannis. Yeah, I want to look this up because I want you guys to hear this. We played this the other day. We played this the other day on, what's it called? On our Sports Wars Sunday stream. We stream every Sunday over on Sports Wars, or right here on Sports Wars. I want you to listen to Giannis and hear how different he sounds than so many other people in the NBA, specifically LeBron James. This is a question about figuring out the ego part. Now, Giannis is not a native English speaker. It's obviously his second language. I want you to listen to this guy and how much different he sounds than a piece of shit like LeBron, who had to crown himself the so-called greatest of all time.
That way.
I think I'll say life. Usually, I'm tell you this. Usually, when from my experience, right? Like when I think about like, oh yeah, I did this. I'm so great. I had 30. I had 25, 10, and 10, or whatever the case might be. Because you're gonna think about that. Oh, we won this and that. Usually, the next day you're gonna suck.
Right.
Simple as that. You like the next few days you're gonna be terrible. And I figured out like a mindset to have that like when you focus on the past, that's your ego. I did this. We were able to, beat this team 4-0. We did. I did this in the past. I won that in the past. And when I focus in the future, is my pride. Like, yeah, next game 5, I do this and this and this. I'm going to dominate. That's your pride talking. Like it doesn't happen. Like you're right here, and I kind of like try to focus in the in the moment, in the present, and that's humility. That's being humble. That's not setting no expectation.
So I think that attitude for him is just so different than so many other people that we have seen in this league, specifically LeBron James. We got Jeremy here. What's up, Jeremy?
I forgot to change my name from D-Day Woods.
Oh my God.
We're playing golf. I mean, I'm gonna whoop your ass at Mario Golf, but I mean, that's not.
Yeah, you know that this audience hasn't seen that. This audience hasn't seen me beat you by 9 strokes or something last time we played. I think it was. So,
all right.
Just saying.
I've gotten better. I've gotten better since then. So, anyway,
well, congratulations. I'm still the best. So, you keep coming after me, LeBron. You didn't never gonna chase my goals down.
What's going on, man? Congratulations to the Milwaukee Bucks. Congratulations to Jeremy from the Quartering, who's probably getting hammered right now. I know he's happy about this, but I'm happy for Giannis. And yeah, I know that I was definitely pulling for Chris Paul to get him a ring, but it's hard to pull for Chris Paul, man. He's such a fucking dick. Anyway, how's everybody doing? How's the chat feeling about tonight's win? Do they like it, or are they just mainly saying fuck LeBron?
Well, there's a lot of people saying fuck LeBron. There's a lot of people saying fuck the NBA, and obviously that's so true. And we've seen this, that even though these ratings are significantly better than they were when LeBron James was in the finals last year, when everyone was literally locked up, had nothing to do, it's still very much down from 2019. And that's an indictment on the NBA and what they've done as far as social justice goes. And like, it's kind of a shame, because this was a good series. This is a good series with, a Bucks team that's been trying to break through, and a Phoenix Suns team that's very young and still has a lot of future ahead of them, as well as Chris Paul. But that's what happens when the NBA decides to focus on all this bullshit instead of just the game. If you focused on the game, you have a lot to promote. You would have a lot of people, ready, but so many people are just fucking done with it. And as I said before you got here, Jeremy, we are a channel called Sports Wars. We're going to talk about relevant sports topics. We're also going to call bullshit out when we see it. But if you don't expect us to talk about sports, it's very strange that you're here.
Yeah,
but we appreciate it nonetheless.
We keep hearing, oh, fuck ESPN, they this, that, the other, well, that's fine. Yeah, and I agree. Fuck ESPN and fuck the mainstream media. Fuck all of them, because they're ones that are trying to push this stuff. And if we don't get new voices out there that are going to cover this stuff and stay critical of it and hold these people accountable, do you think with us having 100,000 subscribers on this channel and being part of a bigger brand that has 300 and something thousand on our main channel, do you think we don't have opportunities? We have a former NFL football player on our team in Uche. Uche has a lot of connections. We have had a lot of opportunities to talk to athletes. The problem is that we know that they aren't going to want to hear what we have to say. So we let it go. We're not chasing you. We don't give a fuck if you come on our channel or not. We're here to be fans. We're here to tell it like it is. And ultimately, all these athletes, I want them to shut the fuck up and play the game. I don't care about your politics. I don't give a shit. And we're going to continue to do that. But yeah, our voices are going to remain. And we're not here for perks. We're not here for special treatment to get access. We're here to be fans and to tell people how we feel. And, we're here to cover it. And if we don't cover it, and people like Outkick isn't out there, and people like Barstool aren't out there, and I understand Barstool doesn't get into the political stuff, which is fine. Barstool brings an entirely different element, which is much needed. And the fact that Barstool is so big, yet it banned from the NFL, is fucking hilarious. You know what I mean? It's beautiful. I'm watching Giannis right now.
Yeah, it's dancing, man. Yeah.
Dude, Giannis is great, dude. I think that from a personality standpoint, he's awesome. You know what I mean? And I think he's definitely got some shortcomings as a player in a lot of different aspects, but I just like him as being potentially the face of the league moving forward. Really, that comes down to I don't think that the league is going to want that, and I don't think the media is going to want that, because Giannis is not pushing their propaganda.
Well, I've said it. I guess I have to kind of eat a little bit of crow, because I've been so skeptical of Giannis and his game, because it is just so predictable. The fact that he made 17 and 19 free throws this game is the difference. The fact that he shot 19 free throws when the entire Suns team shot 19 free throws is also a big factor in this game. There's no doubt that will be talked about over the next few days. But I think that there's this misnomer that you have to be able to shoot. Listen, Shaq didn't have to be able to shoot. Shaq was able to dominate down low. Giannis can dominate in the paint. He shouldn't be shooting threes. He shouldn't be shooting 20-foot jumpers. He shouldn't be shooting 18-foot jumpers. He should just do what he's good at. I think that if he focuses on doing what he's good at, instead of trying to for them to try to force him to be something he's not, that's not necessarily a recipe for success. He needs to focus on what he's good at, and I think he did that tonight, and he was able to make a lot of free throws, which he has not been good at over the past playoff run, this entire year, basically. But we do have a couple super chats, so let me get to some of these guys. Trevor Beast for $5. I can't believe you're not covering the real game that happened tonight. Where is the talk about Qatar versus Honduras, JK? Qatar versus Honduras was a great game on the pitch. I can't believe the outcome. I don't know it either. I assume you're talking about soccer. I don't fucking know. But thanks for the super chat. Bowie for $10. Who won? The Milwaukee Bucks won the NBA Finals. Giannis had a 50-point game. Joins a crowd of, I don't know, maybe eight people that do have a 50-pointer in the finals. It's pretty elite club, and he had 2 40-point games earlier.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, definitely
and I'm looking at a stat line, 50, 14 rebounds, and that's 17 of 19. That's insane, dude. That's the difference right there. That's the difference.
That's a difference. And I think he's probably shooting somewhere around 55 to 60% throughout the playoffs. So you would expect him probably to go 10 for 19. And he didn't. I will say, I was able to watch the majority of the game. And I thought there were some fouls that shouldn't have been there. I think there was an early foul on Jay Crowder that was a phantom foul in the first couple minutes of the first quarter. He ended up picking up another one to get 2 fouls, got him out of the game. DeAndre Ayton had 2 fouls that I can think of on Giannis, where he's literally just standing there. I don't know what you want the motherfucker to do. And it ends up getting called a foul. But you have to give credit to Milwaukee for forcing those calls, to Giannis for forcing those calls and forcing the action and then hitting him when he had the free throws. Phoenix had open shots. Devin Booker 0 for 7. Jay Crowder 2 for 9 from 3. They had open shots. They missed them. And that's unfortunately the story. But a lot of people happy for Giannis right now.
Yeah, I'm happy for Giannis.
Yeah, I mean, I think everybody's sick and tired of LeBron James in general, whether you don't like his politics or not, whether you don't like his social justice, hypocritical activism or not, people are tired of seeing LeBron James. That's just how it is. So I think it was good for the NBA that LeBron got out, both for political reasons and for people to see different people. I think a lot of people probably, I don't want to say fell in love, but now they're going to look at this Phoenix Suns team and they might have got a lot of fans between the Suns and 4 guy, between the atmosphere that you had there in Phoenix. It's a lot of things to be happy about for the Suns and kind of root for the Suns. So that's a good thing for the NBA.
I wanted to, I'm sorry. I dropped the Streamlabs link and I got that pin, but I wanted to tell Ryan, because this happened after he left our Among Us stream.
Oh, God.
So we have this guy named Don, who's been dropping bombs on our, Streamlabs for Geeks and Gamers. And he dropped a 60 and I says, thank you. And I said, look, I don't know if you're actually, the president of the United States or the former president of the United States, but I'm looking forward to your run in, 2024. And then I said, shit. I said, if he really doesn't like Trump, he's probably very offended that I said that. Don then follows up with a $45 Streamlabs.
45, huh?
$45 Streamlabs. And then Byron comes in with a $45.47 Streamlabs. So I was like, dude, that's awesome. So I figure a lot of the audience here at Sports Wars would appreciate that story. So
I've been saying that a lot to him, so I was pretty sure he wasn't going to get offended. I was like, he's either senior or junior. I'm not sure who's watching the stream, but thanks. You know what I mean? So
that $45 return, I was like, okay, that's on point right there. I appreciate that. So.
Yes, that's clever. That's pretty good. If you're just joining us, Giannis Antetokounmpo wins MVP. The Milwaukee Bucks have won the NBA Finals, beat the Phoenix Suns in 6 games. A good series. A good series that, 2 at home for Phoenix, 2 at home for Milwaukee. They steal 1 in Phoenix where everything goes right for that team and then close it out at home. And that's how you win. That's how you win the NBA Finals. And I see Benny in the chat. Benny Canuck, I got to DM you later, Benny. Don't let me forget. Says, Don dropped a 20 on my channel yesterday. The guy is a beauty.
Hell yeah.
Indeed. Yeah, Don's fucking awesome. He really is. I see the 47, the 45, 47. That's funny.
Now, I do want to go ahead and address this because a couple people have mentioned in the chat too. Yes, I saw Tom Brady's comments. I think the media is taking it and run with it.
Yes.
I do not think that Brady was throwing shade at Trump at all. I think Tom Brady, since he's went to Tampa, has really loosened up, and his self-awareness is off the charts. A lot of people are missing. Like, Tom Brady mentioned something he hadn't even fessed up to, which is him forgetting about the 4th down. He has not addressed that. And then he finally admitted that he forgot it. took a shot at himself. I don't think Brady meant any disrespect to anyone. I think that he was being self-aware of the situation. And also, if anything, he was paying respect to Trump, but also paying respect to Biden and then being self-aware of himself, because that's who Tom Brady is.
He handled it like a leader and a normal person would. He goes in there, a couple little jokes, because he was like, oh, 40% of people don't think that we won. Talking about people not thinking that, that Biden won the election. Then with his next sentence, he says they started calling me Sleepy Tom. Why would they do that? And that's a joke about Biden. So he's doing what a leader should and not making it political, in my opinion, because he's not there. He's
the media
took references to it,
right?
But the
media took it, and they were like, throw shade at Trump, pays homage to Biden. It's like, oh my God, the media, fuck the media. That's ultimately what it comes down to. Fuck the media. It's absolutely ridiculous. But I wanted to address that because I know a lot of people were curious about that. But.
Yeah, I saw people talking about it. I thought it was funny. I legitimately thought it was funny. And we are at a point in this country where that's not okay, right? Where somebody can't just be there and not be taking a stance or shitting on one person or another. That's what he was there for. Tom Brady had a fucking MAGA hat in his locker. All right.
Yeah.
Tom Brady had a MAGA hat in his locker. He's just fucking being a normal dude. That's all it is. And if you have to, when you're in that kind of position, have respect for the office. That's what we said the entire time when all these people are making this big deal about not going to see Trump. Oh, how dare you, Trump. It's even if you don't respect the dude, at least have a little respect for the situation you're in. And that's what Tom Brady did because he's a professional. I didn't have any problem with it.
Don just dropped to $47 on Streamlabs.
Thank you, Don.
Thank you, Don, for the $47.
See, that's an indication that he's not too upset about what Tom said.
Exactly. We just got confirmation from Don. That is awesome, dude. Thank you so much, Don.
Yeah.
Really appreciate that.
Somebody said, what's with the green screen? You're the first person to say it. Yeah, I can tell. You can tell when I'm especially when I'm solo fucking layout, you can tell. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But I mean, it is what it is. There's fucking empty shit behind here now. I took down everything because I'm moving.
Yep.
So that's why you got to do what you got to do.
Yep. But I do want to kind of get us back on track on the NBA Finals, because my question is for the chat and for Ryan. Do you think this is the changing of the guard for the NBA? Do you think that Giannis and the Bucks are the new face of the NBA potentially? Do you think this is the next big star to take it over from LeBron?
I don't think that the NBA is going to let that happen. I don't think they want a small market Milwaukee team with Giannis, a guy who, he's not super vocal about stuff. You know what I mean? The fact that he speaks a little bit broken English, he speaks it pretty well considering it's his second language. I don't think that's what the NBA wants. I think the NBA will very much still continue to push LeBron James in Los Angeles as the face of the league. I really do.
Yeah.
I think that, depending on how things work out with Zion Williamson, Zion's a guy that has a lot of draw and Zion is a guy who's going to force his way out of New Orleans.
Mm-hmm.
Just trust me. So depending on where he goes, I think they're hoping maybe he could be the next guy. I think a lot of people would be okay with Giannis, but I don't think the NBA wants that. And the NBA controls who the face of the NBA is.
Yeah.
And it's not it'd be one thing if this finals was back up to 2019 levels, but it wasn't.
Well, yeah,
it just wasn't.
Significant damage. And again, this goes back to what we were talking about last year. Significant damage has been done to the NBA. Significant damage. And that is a problem that the NBA is going to have to eventually address. Right now, they've continued to keep their heads in the sand. They're continuing to act like nothing's wrong. But everybody with a working brain and the slightest bit of common sense knows that something's wrong. It's a big problem. Like the NBA is suffering right now, rightfully so, and they should be suffering. They should be suffering because they put politics and disrespected a majority of their audience, and those people are just like, we're not coming back. Fuck LeBron and fuck the rest of these players. And I totally understand that. I have no problem with that whatsoever.
Yeah. Porn star Jimmy Garoppolo says, Lamau, you're saying the same thing as Stephen. No, I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is I think the NBA is going to be thinking that. And like I said, Giannis's English is pretty damn good for it being his second language. But he does, he has to pause and, try to find words and things like that. It's just, it's not his first language. There's nothing wrong with that for me. I like listening to Giannis talk. Well, I just played a clip of him talking. But I just think from the NBA standpoint, that's where their heads are at.
Well,
so.
and
let's be real. LeBron speaks broken English.
That's very true. I mean, listen, I don't think in isolation, and again, the key word here is isolation. Okay. In isolation, I have no problem with what Stephen A. Smith said. Made a valid point about the marketing and everything. The problem is the hypocrisy of Stephen A. Smith and the hypocrisy of the mainstream media and the social justice bullshit that they are constantly pushing. I understand the point he was trying to make. It doesn't take away from what takes away from his point is his constant virtue signaling and his constant bullshit. That's the problem with what Stephen A. was trying to say. And then the media just, again, it's the oppression Olympics. They're just going to eat him alive because their new favorite thing is stop Asian hate and all of that. So but I understood the point he was trying to make.
Yeah. Let me.
And the media only wants players to talk because they want these players to repeat the bullshit that they want them to repeat. That's why. Go ahead.
Oh, yeah. Let me get to some of these super chats. SBD Girl for 5 says, as a Chicago fan, I agree. The mainstream media always hates Chi-Town team. Sometimes it depends. Like the Cubs, as a Cubs fan, he's been a Cubs fan all my life since they were dog shit. And obviously they didn't win for 108 years. But 2016, all of a sudden, 2015, 2016, all of a sudden you start seeing a lot of bandwagon Chicago fans. The media starts constantly talking about the Cubs. So just depends. BWE for $10. I second. Cole Beasley is the GOAT. Did you see what Cole Beasley said today?
Oh yeah. I saw it on Twitter.
Yeah.
Based as fuck.
Seattle Sherm for $5. Haven't watched the NBA much this year, but I'm happy for Giannis. My college peers at University of Wisconsin-Madison are ecstatic. Hashtag on Wisconsin. Hashtag Bucks in 6. Bucks in 6 was right. Michael Amato for 5. Fuck ESPCNN. Fuck La China. That's why people like us here in the chat look for real sports news and independent media like you fellas, always keeping it real. Thank you. And that's 100% our point, is that we're going to call bullshit out when we see it, because that's why you guys are here. We're also going to talk sports and put all that in perspective, because we need alternatives to the garbage that's at ESPN.
Yep, 100%. And I'm continuing to watch Giannis celebrating. And I mean, it's at a commercial now, but it was just showing like a replay of him. It's great, man. He's got such a great personality and a great kind of just the whole aura around him. And to see that, and to see those, like the fans there genuinely are just, they're happy, and you can feel that energy. And it's just different than the LeBron bullshit. It's just different, I don't care what anybody says. LeBron tried, and I think LeBron was genuinely upset. I know that LeBron James was genuinely upset and hurt by what happened to Kobe Bryant, as anyone was. You know what I mean? And I think that even like with Kobe's last tweet being that directed at LeBron, moving the game forward, I mean, I'm sure that had to have a significant impact on LeBron. They were texting, I think, like that morning, if I'm not mistaken. Like, so I'm not trying to minimize their relationship in any way, but there were times where LeBron interjected himself in this shit he didn't have nothing to do with. You know what I mean? Like with him speaking at Kobe's memorial, like that just felt so fucking cringe. You know what I mean?
It was the way he went about it. And because we were all watching, right? Like,
yeah.
We were watching all that go down, and like we We were fucking emotional about stuff that happened. I've never met Kobe Bryant in my fucking life. I've watched him a lot. Jeremy watched him a lot. We were emotional. So everyone's going to be emotional about it. But it did, like, we sat there, we listened to it, and we were like, we didn't really want to say anything. But then we're like, yeah, LeBron, there were some things he said that I felt like he was manipulating people. And that's what he's always tried to do. Yeah. Porn star Jimmy for $5 says, thanks for clarifying. By the way, I fucked LeBron's mom. And we found Delonte West burner account. Thank you, porn star Jimmy, for the super chat.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
The Greg for $5. Uche, fun fact. Tom Brady is the greatest of all time, has as many Super Bowl rings as Uche has played years in the NFL. Hashtag, where is Uche? Fire Chip Kelly. Thank you, the Greg, as always.
He's on the Mario Kart streams, man. He's always on the Mario Kart streams. So
you catch him in 10th. SPD Girl at 88 for $5. McMahon wore his Bears jersey to the White House when he won the Super Bowl with the Packers since they skipped the 85 Bears trip. Awesome. Indeed, SPD Girl. Yeah, McMahon's a fucking crazy bastard. Funny as fuck. Benny Canuck for $5. I miss my Vancouver Grizzlies. Big country up there. What do you think? Yeah. Where do you think the NBA expands to next? I'm thinking Seattle with the new NHL team they're getting this year. I don't know if they need to. I don't know if they need to expand. Seattle has been asking for a team ever since one went to OKC, you know? But if they have one there, I do think they need one somewhere else. To me, if you're going to put a team in the West, you need to put one in the East as well, unless you're going to kind of restructure, which it might. You know, if you're going to put, I think that like Vegas is a decent place, especially with the Golden Knights and the success they've had. I think Vegas, now they got the Raiders there as well. They're trying to do that. Maybe they put a team in Seattle and in Vegas and move the Pelicans to the Eastern Conference. Because New Orleans is so far over that I do think you can justify them being in the East. So maybe that's what you do.
I think the NBA needs to not worry about expanding and get their bullshit cleaned up right now. That's what I think. I mean, because, again, regardless of the mainstream narrative, it is struggling big time. And there's just no enthusiasm. I mean, again, this should be a feel-good moment. This should be a feel-good sports moment. For what happened with Milwaukee, small market team, you know, a really likable superstar in Giannis, solid team, solid community that they have there in the Milwaukee area. And too many people have checked out because of the alienation of over half of your fan base. And that's what I think the NBA needs to really get back on track, because they clearly have lost a lot. And I think it's going to be significant for them. Again, it's crazy because LeBron is the biggest name in the NBA and he's the biggest pull, and that's, you can't deny that, but he's also the biggest hindrance that the NBA has right now to move forward. He just is.
Yep, agreed. Jabraylin Van Zant for $2. Christopher Robin Paul choked again. I tweeted out Chris Paul is a pussy in the middle of the first quarter because he looked like a fucking pussy. He did pick it up. And played decent in the second half. But I blame a lot of the dysfunction that you saw with the Suns on Chris Paul's inability to take charge and run that offense. That's why he's fucking there. Milwaukee had 6 or 7 turnovers in the first quarter, but they won the quarter 29-16. They shouldn't have fucking happened. Both teams were definitely rattled those first couple minutes. But yeah, I thought Chris Paul didn't look so great, especially that first quarter and a half. Again, Cameron Payne comes in and is electric off the bench. Immediately provides a spark, gets that game tied up. Why did he only play 10 minutes? Why did he only play 10 minutes? I think that Monty Williams is a young coach. Monty Williams did really good things with the Suns this year, but I think that's something Monty Williams is going to look at when he kind of goes to the stat sheet and realizes that, you know, Payne, who has been playing very well this playoffs, he only got him 10 minutes. He scored 10 points, and he was +9 when he was on the court. as far as plus minus goes. So I do think that's a big deal for them, and might haunt them. We'll see what happens. I see Rishi Bhakta says, so happy for Giannis. Could have run from the grind like LeBron, but instead stayed loyal to a small market team. Yep.
Absolutely.
Agreed.
Absolutely.
And, this is a team that's him and Chris Middleton have been together for, 6 years, 7 years? I don't know how long Chris has been there, but we've all been very skeptical in this era of the super team that those two could get it done. They went out, they got a piece. They got Drew Holiday, who is inconsistent at times, but very good defensively, really gels with what that team is doing. And he was that piece. You get a veteran like Brook Lopez in there who can spread the floor and can play big inside when you need him to. You get a guy like PJ Tucker who literally you're just asking him to annoy people and play good defense and get some hustle points, essentially. And it worked. The pieces fell the way that they needed to.
Yep.
Devin Booker disappeared. Devin Booker didn't disappear. Devin Booker just played bad. And that's at least I'll give him credit that he is going to continue to try to get his shot and continue to force things. And he did. He just wasn't hitting shots. And he's a young guy, and he's gonna fucking feel that for a while. He knows this opportunity is right there, and he knows in the West he might not get it again for a while. So I'm sure that'll haunt him a little bit.
What's going on with Kawhi and everything? How are they looking for next year? How are
Dude,
they
Kawhi's talking about opting out with a torn ACL, and he's not going to be ready till about the All-Star break. People legitimately think he's going to opt out. I don't know. We saw what Kawhi did with Toronto. All the pieces kind of fell right with them as well for them to win that. I think he sees what Kevin Durant got when Kevin Durant, popped that Achilles and then signed a max with Brooklyn. I think Kawhi saw that and thinks that even with his torn ACL, he's still going to be able to get the max somewhere. He very well could. He very well could. But Kawhi just seems like a headache. I don't know. It's hard to say a guy's a headache when he never fucking talks. But it just seems like the way he operates, the way that he sometimes doesn't want to play through certain injuries, the kind of rest he gets, he seems like a headache somehow.
Yeah.
And maybe that's because of the way the Spurs push things and everything. Maybe that's true. But just to me, something feels off with that. And I don't know even if they would have won if he'd stayed on the floor. Yeah. So I'm not sure what's going to happen.
He is a weird cat. He's a weird guy, man. He's a very strange person. So
yeah, you got to wonder how the locker room gels with that.
Yeah, that championship elevated the hell out of him. You know what I mean? So, I mean, it put him in a different stratosphere. And then there was all these, especially when he made the move to LA, and then there was this perception that he manipulated LeBron, and he was coming to take over LA and all of this. And it just kind of, people like, oh man, this guy's playing on a different level. And I don't really think he necessarily belonged to be in that kind of stratosphere that he was put in.
Well, I think it's so crazy because you look at that Eastern Conference championship when Kawhi hits that shot that fucking bounces and bounces and bounces, hangs on the rim and then falls in to beat the 76ers, right? If I'm recalling that right.
I can't remember if it was the Sixers or not. I think it was the Sixers.
I think it was the Sixers. And now you have the Sixers over the next 2 years. Oh, the fucking what do they call them? The process. Well, all of a sudden it ain't the process anymore. It's the projects in Philly, and they're looking to blow that shit up. They're looking to gentrify the area. They're looking to gentrify the projects and move Ben Simmons on out of there because it just doesn't work. As much as Colin Cowherd tried to push it, it just doesn't work. Ben Simmons does not work. Ben Simmons is broken, and I think that it's crazy to me that what that did to Kawhi's career versus what we now have with the Sixers. If it had been the other way around, what would be happening there? Who knows?
Yep.
And then for them to now Jimmy Butler's kind of crazy guy too, but for them to let Jimmy walk and sign Tobias Harris to a big deal, it's just Sixers made so many mistakes.
And it was the Sixers. A lot of people in the chat confirmed that. I see Nina Infinity here. She was saying it was the Sixers and a few other people. So what's up, Nina?
When it says Giannis said, "I hit my free throws, now I'm a champion." Did he really? That's funny as fuck.
If he said that, that's funny as hell.
Where am I? The Game Guy becomes a channel member. Thank you very much, The Game Guy.
Hell yeah, thank you.
Appreciate that. Welcome to the MVP level. Marcos Mercedes Nunez says LeBron went into Game 5 of the finals, wrote his new tequila. He jinxed CP3's chances to win.
Oh man, he's just such an incredibly unlikable human being. LeBron is, you know.
Oh yeah. Well, the fact that he brought his tequila, he brought his tequila in there and was drinking it and put it on the floor.
And then he responded with a tweet, and then he responded to that tweet, talking about that. Did you see that?
I didn't see that. No,
there was like a reporter who mentioned LeBron, like, oh, they allowed LeBron to bring his tequila, and he goes, they allowed me, and all this. It's like he was like, they allowed me ? Okay, we'll go with that. That's what he responded to on Twitter. I'm like, God, shut.
So what are you saying? You snuck it in?
Yeah, exactly. Like
you're fucking LeBron James. Like of course they allowed him. The NBA allowed LeBron James to violate COVID protocol and didn't. Well, again, didn't punish him.
Yeah, this is LeBron James, the person who pretends that he's a victim in America, that he doesn't get a police escort to put him and his family on the wrong side of the road to take them to a Justin Timberlake concert. The police officers that LeBron says are hunting him, yet they shut down the entire, I think it was interstate in Miami to take him and his family to a concert. But he wants to play this up like he doesn't have privilege. Fuck LeBron James.
Yeah, absolutely. We are all caught up with Super Chats. Let me go check the Streamlabs really quick.
I see DJ Scandalous here.
What's up, DJ Scandalous? He was saying Seattle and Vegas too, I believe. Michael Amato for $10. Who does LaFraud Clown recruit this offseason to try and weasel his way to another championship in 2022? I hear rumors about Chris Paul. What are you hearing? I mean, is LeBron gonna? I heard that too, but people have been talking about the banana boat getting together for a long time. But I don't know why you would want him.
I don't see Chris Paul. To me, doesn't have another year left.
I just don't think he has a I don't think he makes sense on that team. I think they need someone who's going to score more instead of be like a ball handler.
Yeah, because LeBron is the ball. LeBron is the point forward.
Mm-hmm.
And so bringing another ball-centric player to that dynamic, even if he's someone that's well past his prime, I don't think that meshes well at all.
No, I think you're looking at big names. I think he's looking for ways to get Damian Lillard there. He's looking at ways to get like a Steph Curry or a Devin Booker there. I think those are the guys that he's kind of looking at. A guard who's going to be able to score and take a lot of that pressure off of him.
You think Steph Curry is even a remote possibility to go to LA with LeBron? Like I'm asking. I mean, I don't know what Steph's contract is right now. I know he signed not too long ago, a pretty big deal, but do I think LeBron James would try to make that happen? Oh, 100%. Yeah.
There's a reason. Yeah, there's a reason LeBron James was like, oh, Steph Curry's the MVP this year. The dude's incredible. He's talking him up because he's trying to recruit him.
Yeah.
Because he knows that just having him and Anthony Davis, 2 top 5 players in the NBA, it's not enough for him. He needs more than that. LeBron's always needed fucking more than that. LeBron's always needed at least 3 legitimate all-stars. In the case of Miami, they had 4 fucking Hall of Famers on that team. And I'm not just talking about like a fucking a weird Hall of Famer, right? Fucking Ray Allen. Ray Allen was that guy, that piece that they needed. So,
Bojangles says Steph has 1 more year on his contract. So if that's true, that'd be interesting. So, I mean, that would be very much LeBron like to do something like that.
Yeah.
So,
well, people saying Steph's a warrior for life. Tell me this: what happens if next year they suck? What happens if next year Steph Curry, maybe Clay gets injured again. Maybe he finally had enough of Draymond shit. Like, it's okay to say warrior for life, and that's fine when everything was going so well. But I just think that in today's era of the NBA, when mobility is such a normal thing, I don't think it would be so frowned upon, I guess. Like, Steph does have this image, this very squeaky clean good guy image. He would be the bad guy if that happened. But I'm just saying, don't put it past. There's a reason LeBron's doing that. So I don't know. I thought for a while Clay might go there when they had that contract dispute. And of course he, signs a contract and is injured for the next 2 years. But I thought Clay might go there just because of the Thompson connection and, the fact that I thought he would have worked well. Like, I think Klay Thompson works well on a LeBron team, a guy who doesn't need the ball, a guy who's very much catch and shoot, a guy who might only dribble 5 times in a fucking game.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens going forward. He definitely needs someone else, though. Someone says Chris Paul's overweight.
Why doesn't Lyndon have a wrench? I'm going to get Lyndon have a wrench.
He never talks.
He never talks. There you go. And again, if you guys, Lyndon's here, and Lyndon, he needs some pep me up. I beat the fuck out of him in Mario Golf. I mean, now he did come back and he won that match, but I destroyed him that first match. Like I beat him down so bad, I had to let him win. I had to let him get
that picture, dude.
That picture.
The picture is fucking. I'm cracking up that picture.
Oh man, that's good. We'll probably, I don't know if Ryan's available, but like I'd like to get him, Lyndon, and Tommy together, because Tommy's gotten really good too. Both Tommy and I were 8 under in that match that Lyndon was 6 under. So but I'd like to get all those together for premium Thursday if everybody's available. So we'll see if we can do that for Mario Golf. So
man, how many fucking dumb kid games do I have to play a fucking week?
Don't fucking disrespect Mario Golf, motherfucker. Don't disrespect Mario Golf green screen, okay?
Oh, man. I'm so fucking tired of this shit.
Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it.
Someone said Delonte West is the GOAT. Wonder how Delonte's doing. I wonder if he's gaining that weight
LeBron's mom thinks so. That's for sure.
That's true. That's true. All right. Guys, we are we just had another super chat come in, I think. Eli saw for $5. The Kardashian curse is undefeated. Giannis played with that injury that happened in game 2 or 3. Congrats to him. Yeah, Giannis took a bad injury, and the Bucks were able to overcome that and beat a Hawks team that didn't really belong to be in the Eastern Conference Finals. But they did what they had to do, and they got to the finals. He came back. And he looked fucking good. It didn't look like it bothered him that much. Maybe a little bit in game 1, but dude had a hell of a finals. 2 40-point games and a 50-point game to cap it off. You got to give credit to Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Yep. 100%. 100%. Yeah, it's been and I know it was going pretty good before I hopped in. So shout out to Ryan for getting this stream going. This is Sports Horse is pretty much his baby anyway. So love what we got going on over here, and NFL season is about 2 months away now. We got some plans for we got some plans. We got some plans, guys. We need to expand Sports Wars, and that actually means talking about sports. So we are looking to get into fantasy football this year. I've been a big fantasy football guy for the past 7 or 8 years. So we really want to bring some of that to Sports Wars and start doing more fantasy stuff, weekly fantasy spots, as well as this little thing that's become very popular called sports gambling, sports betting. And we are going to be getting into that as well. So, and NFL season is a big time for that. So that is what one thing we're going to be focused on over the next several months. So stay tuned to Sports Wars for all of that good shit. DJ Scandalous just sent me this. I don't know if this is real. McDonald's wrong for this. This can't be it, man. This can't be real. If this is real, I will go eat a Big Mac for lunch tomorrow because they've earned it. Oh my God.
Like, it's so accurate that I just don't believe it could be a McDonald's toy because of how accurate it is.
Shout out to DJ.
Yeah.
His channel, man. Where's he at? He's closing on 1 million subs, isn't he?
Where
are you at, DJ Scandalous? You're close. You got like what was 800,000?
I thought he's got at least 750,000, right?
Mm-hmm. Killing it, man. Killing it.
Yeah, that's fucking crazy, man. It's crazy like how big YouTube is.
I know.
You know what I mean? 800,000, yeah.
800,000. 803 is what he just said. Hell yeah, man. Congratulations,
fucking awesome,
brother.
Bro.
He's been supporting us for as long as I can remember, man. You know, I think you might have had like 300,000 or 400,000 subs when I first saw you in my chat, you know, years ago. And by the way, Slam Dog Millionaire, I agree. Tupac is the GOAT. No denying that. I won't argue that at all.
Truth. All right, guys, but we are gonna get going. We do streams every single Sunday at 12 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. Pacific. So catch us there for more live streams. But congratulations to Giannis and the Bucks for the beatdown they put on the Phoenix Suns. A lot of free throws they shot. So congrats to the refs too. Jeremy, you got anything else?
No, just thank you guys so much. We do appreciate it, and we'll have a lot more content coming your way. And we got a few new ideas to continue to expand Sports Wars, so you might be hearing about that over the next few weeks as well. Looking forward to it. Thank you to Don for the love over on Streamlabs. Appreciate that. Krista Nova is live on Twitch playing Mario Golf with Drunk 3PO right now. If you guys want to go over there, I will link that right now. Hang on. Copy. And right here, I might hop on with them. So there's Krista's link right there. And yeah, thank you to Ryan for getting the stream going. Thank you to everybody. Appreciate it. That's it.
That's right. I would hop over there, but I'm not going to practice until we play again. So I just beat you. Thanks, everybody. We'll talk to you later. Peace.
Bye.